Clara was a very young, successful woman who had compassion for helping others. Clara was a Civil War nurse and many more who did whatever it could take to help those who were in need. She was very intelligent and even ended up creating one school and two very successful foundations that are still used and around to this day. Clara had a rough but average childhood. She was born on December 25th in Oxford, Massachusetts. She was the youngest of 5 siblings. Those siblings basically raised Clara until she was old enough to live on her own due to the fact that she lacked a relationship with her mother and her father was hardly around. When she was old enough, she attended school. She went to Colonial Richard Stone's School. When she was in elementary school at the Colonial School, she loved being able to participate, and she actually loved doing all of her homework and assignments. Although she was very shy, so she hardly made friends growing up. All through elementary school, Clara had never made one friend. Later on, her brother had fallen off a roof and gotten severely injured. He was bedridden for about 2 years. Clara jumped to his side, nursed him back to health. This is when she learned that she loved helping people. Later on, when Clara was about age 18, she began working, moving out, and starting her own life. Clara's first job, of many, was around her hometown. She was a teacher. She was very good at it and loved doing it. She loved being around all the kids and teaching them like the way her teachers did. She loved teaching so much that she went out and founded the first free public school for students to attend. Eventually, years later, she stopped teaching and got a job at the U.S. Patent Office, which was very hard because jobs like that were very male dominant. Even though it was hard for her to earn this job, she was one of the very first women to work for the federal government. Later on, sadly, Clara was fired due to the men starting a riot about a woman working with them. And later on, after she was fired, she started to take care of family and friends in their home. After helping all of her friends and family, she was offered back her job at the U.S. Patent Office, but she declined because of the lack of respect she earned while working there. Sooner or later, the Civil War began. Clara jumped to help by bringing supplies for the injured and started to care for them and nurse them back to health. When she saw all of the injured soldiers, she just felt the need to help and not run. Clara worked for days on end with no sleep. She was very, very exhausted. When she got a break, she returned home exhausted, but ended up going back, bringing more supplies and offering more help. When the war ended, she returned home and began to help find and search for the missing soldiers that never came back from the war. She did that for a couple months until there was no more soldiers to be found. After all her hard work, she still wanted to help in any way that she could. She talked to a couple family and friends. They told her to take a trip to Europe and relax after all the hard work she has done. When she went to Europe, she met representatives from the International Red Cross. They talked to Clara about how she loves nursing and how they think that it would be a great idea for her to found the American Red Cross Foundation. So they convinced her. Clara came back from Europe and created the American Red Cross Foundation. After working as the president of the American Red Cross Foundation, she decided to create the National First Aid Association of America. These two foundations help people who with medical needs that could not take care of themselves or did not have the financial money to take care of it. She helped them. All in all, Clara's dedication and determined to help everyone in need and creating two famous foundations that are still around today is very inspiring. Clara's intelligence she had and making herself known by pushing herself to do what she loved plays a big role in who she is today.